Stock markets are selling off big, Bitcoin and Ethereum are in the dumpster, and the yen and the US dollar are on fire. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the situation that we currently face in markets and why this is a game changer in the short term for risk off, risk on sentiment. Let's get it. Welcome back to the channel, you guys. My name is Nick. I talk all about Forex and investing and trading in the financial markets, which right now are a scary and kind of dangerous place. We're actually seeing the S&P 500 drop off like crazy today after the concerns around risk off spiked big time with the Russia and Ukraine situation. Now, I am no by any means expert on the area, but what I do know in terms of a market reaction is that war or concerns around geopolitical events like this tend to cause investors to be a little bit fearful, right? It makes complete sense if big, things continue to develop in that area in the wrong direction. It can certainly cause markets and things like that. A time of optimism and peace is great, but a time of, not so much peace is not great. Now, again, I'm not an expert on whether or not things will continue to develop in Russia or anything like that. I don't know that much. I just know that in reaction to it, the markets are selling off. Again, here's the S&P 500 dropping like crazy, and the dollar actually seeing a massive run up here today. Again, finding lows at 94.7 and then just continuing to rally since then. I wanted to focus and talk about some ideas here this week in terms of risk on, risk off. If you know what I'm talking about in that regards, what I'm talking about is when markets are fearful, we tend to see people want to take risk off the table. When markets are optimistic, they want to put risk on the table. They want to take more aggressive stances on things like stocks, etc. But again, as we would expect, with the S&P 500 dropping off big in response to this, we're seeing a lot of ricochet effects in other markets, and I want to talk about a couple ideas and setups for this week. For me right now, the short term, I am risk off, meaning I am buying things like the US dollar. I'm not so much, anti-yen or gold right now. I'm more just, go with the safe havens for the time being in light of this situation. So a couple markets that I wanted to talk about, we'll list them off here for you. We're going to talk about AUDUSD. We're going to talk about the US dollar against the gold market, or XAU-USD, and then we're going to talk about something like USDCAD. So stay with me, let's jump into it. Before we get too far into this video, if you're looking for trade alerts, a community to join, educational material, coaching webinars, all sorts of good stuff like that, we actually have a service that myself and our team here at A1 Trading put together. It is our Discord channel, and there's a link down below to join, and if you actually use that link and the promo code that is attached to it in the description, you can actually get a whopping 22% off sale. This is the last time we're going to be doing this for a little while for our New Year sale. It is ending, and if you'd like to get that 22% off your membership with us, we'd love to have you join us. Again, you get trade alerts, you can join and get our educational material. You can see all the strategies being used by myself and a couple of our other analysts. We have chat rooms available for you guys and all sorts of good stuff. So check it out, link down below in the description. The first one is AUDUSD. So AUDUSD, I had a markup that I wanted to share with you guys. One of my favorite ideas here for the week. And look at this thing go. It's just selling off like crazy. Let me pull up my pen. But the idea here being AUD being that risk on currency, whereas that US dollar is the more safe haven based economy or currency, right? So if we look at AUDUSD, right now we are seeing exactly what we'd expect. Big sell pressure coming in on the Aussie, which is that high trade, optimism based economy there in the Pacific. When things go wrong in the world and trade locks up and there's less stuff going on like that in terms of economic growth globally, Australia doesn't do quite as well, and also the US dollar becomes even more attractive as it is that big, backed by a giant military safe haven currency. So right now we are seeing exactly what we'd expect in fears of a situation with Russia, etc., right? As well as the Fed's hiking policy and things like that. We are overall seeing a favoring of the US dollar, which is something that I have bet on for a while now and been consistently long biased on for several months ever since the Fed started talking about rate hikes and things like that. So with that said, I actually have a short bias on this pair, but I don't want to short it down here. I have a couple ideas in mind. If price does find a bottom pretty soon, I am going to look at the Aussie dollar with a short bias, maybe up there at the 38.2 or the 50% level, somewhere in line with this supply zone. If we get a retest of that area later on this week, there may be that opportunity to look for a short setup in my view. So something like this, retest and continuation. Now, what I like about this is it offers a nice risk to reward after this recent breakout in terms terms of technical analysis, you can see we had a nice upward trending market there on the Australian dollar against the US dollar, but then this breakout here and the follow through is what we're looking at now. If we see retests of structure, there may be opportunities to take great risk to reward trades to the downside, and my overall target for this pair, if things continue to be risk off, is a move back down to the lows there, down at 0.7, right, which seems far away, but again, look how fast this thing can drop when it starts dropping. You can see in just a matter of days, we've made a significant move to the downside from top to bottom here, looking at 200 pips. Again, very quick succession there, making a serious move to the downside with a lower high. And now on that 4-hour chart, what I'm looking at is that pullback play in continuation to the downside. Next one is a little bit, I got to bite my tongue for this because I'm going to sound a little bit different than my usual tone. I am actually short-term bullish on gold. And the reason I say that is because, again, in light of the concerns around the Russian situation with Ukraine, as well as the rate hike situation and inflation concerns from risk off, right? All of those things combined have me for the short term looking at gold and saying I think that we have a reasonable potential to make a move on up to 1870, 1875 being that short term target for gold. Again, check how price has basically been making these breakouts here consistently, and finally once we got this breakout of 1830, we now even saw some support in this area. Now, could this thing completely blow back the other way? Of course it's possible, but I think that there is some opportunities setting up on gold for long side action, kind of making a move back up to that previous high and wanting to retest that zone of resistance that we put in mid-November of last year. So if price does want to continue, again, nice little breakout retest opportunity for more upside there on the gold market for the time being. So we'll keep tabs on this one, but again, I think that in light of inflation concerns, the possible concern around the need for more stimulus in light of slowing post pandemic recovery, there is possible short-term catalyst for gold to continue to spike, maybe to the upside there at 1870 being the target. Again, if I was to take a trade on this, I would share this in the private Discord, but whatever I do in there, I'll keep my stops tight because I don't want to risk, the idea of if I'm completely wrong about gold, I don't want to hold on to a massive loss either, right? I would cut short on the loss if it does happen, if I end up taking a position on gold. The last one I wanted to talk about, as promised, was USDCAD, which actually made a pretty significant break here to the upside today. In fact, we broke out of this consolidation zone. So you can kind of see consolidation zone here, right there at 1.2550, let's call it. We had this level of support and resistance kind of holding where you just had this channel action going on. And then finally we saw the breakout here, and you can kind of see on the 4-hour chart what I'm going towards. You can see, consolidation, right? But then that dollar strength came coming through today and then retested and continued. So beautiful upside there. And I wanted to talk about this pair in terms of a risk off sentiment. This makes complete sense that if the market continues to be fearful around situations like this, that oil markets could come down, stock markets could come down as they already are, and that could cause continued pressure on the Canadian dollar, which in this case, remember, when we look at a currency pair, when we look at USD-CAD, right, and we say, okay, if we think that the CAD may come under pressure, and we also think that the dollar has the potential to strengthen in a risk-off environment, this pair could continue to run up. And so that's where I'm saying I think that there might be that opportunity for breakouts here. And if we draw a trend line, we get a trend line going here from the tops of this move, you can kind of see we are just trying to poke through this level now. And so as we look at this, maybe a retest of structure could actually be in play. If we get a little bit more clearing on this level, we get something like this, I think that there's opportunities for potential break and retests and maybe a return to levels like 1.28. And if things get very bullish in this situation, 1.29, let's say 1.295, somewhere in that region, right? Which seems far away, but again, when this thing starts trending really hard, it can get there very quickly. And there's a lot of pips to be made there. Just to return back to the highs from where we currently trade, that's a move of, 315 pips. That's pretty significant. So we'll keep tabs on USD-CAD. This is another pair that I think has potential to continue to trade higher if the dollar continues to be strong in this risk off sentiment. That's my personal take on a couple markets here today. If you did enjoy my video, do me a favor, just hit the like button down below. These videos take a lot of time and effort by myself and our editor to put together, but if you enjoy them, we'll continue to do them. Just hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time. What's up guys? Thanks for watching today's video. There are more videos available on our channel here and here, so go ahead and click into that for some more free trading content. With that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you back next time.